On the planet Kalora, the sky was a dull orange. The sun hung low, struggling to shine through thick clouds. The ground was cracked and dry, and strange purple plants wilted under the heat. The Olaran, a gentle alien race with tall, thin bodies and silver skin, moved slowly among the ruined buildings of their once proud city. Their homes had been damaged by storms, floods, and strange quakes. For weeks, nothing had grown, and food was nearly gone. The Olarin had sent a call for help to the stars, hoping a friendly empire would answer. They waited in fear and silence. In a small control tower, an Olaran named Vera adjusted the signal transmitter again. Her long fingers moved over glowing panels, but the message had been sent many times before. Still, no one had answered. She sighed and looked out over the city. Smoke rose from collapsed buildings. Children huddled near their parents. The city's walls were broken, and the Olaran soldiers who remained looked tired and afraid. "Why does no one come?" Vera whispered. Her voice shook. In the quiet of space, a small human ship approached Kalora. Unlike the huge, shining fleets of other advanced empires, this ship was simple. Its hull was scratched, and it was not large. But it moved steadily, powered by engines that had survived countless storms and battles. Inside, the crew worked calmly. Commander Liam Carter sat at the main console, watching the readings. He was a tall man with short brown hair, calm eyes, and a quiet confidence that made everyone trust him. "Kalora ahead, Commander," said Laura Hill, the pilot. Her fingers flew over the controls. "Atmosphere is stable, but there are signs of storms. Gravity is low. We can land, but the terrain is rough." Liam nodded. "We knew that before we left Earth. Nothing here surprises us." Next to him, Nina Brooks adjusted a small scanner. "Life signs are weak, but they're still alive. There are people, or aliens, rather. They're concentrated near the center of the city." "Good," Liam said. "We'll meet them. Prepare for anything." Evan Price, the medic, checked his supplies quietly. He was tall, thin, and gentle. His eyes were kind, but he had the look of someone who had seen far too much suffering. "I hope they need help," he said softly. "I don't want anyone to die if we can stop it." Kyle Barnes, the heavy equipment specialist, leaned against the wall. He was strong and quiet, but there was an intensity in his eyes. "Let's just get down there. I like fixing things on real dirt, not in a simulator." The Olarin were watching the skies as well. From the highest broken tower, Vera and a group of soldiers saw the small ship enter orbit. Their silver eyes widened. "It is Earth," one soldier whispered. "No empire sends small ships like that. Only the Deathworlders come in small numbers. Only humans." The word made the Olaran children shrink behind their parents. They had heard stories of humans. Humans came from a world so harsh that only the strongest survived. They were fearless, sometimes reckless, and often dangerous. Many empires avoided contact with Earth because humans were unpredictable. But now, humans were here. The Olaran did not know if they would save them or destroy them. The human ship landed near the city ruins with a soft thud that shook the cracked ground. Dust rose in clouds, and some of the Olaran ran back in fear. Liam stepped out first. His boots sank slightly into the dry dirt. He looked around calmly, taking in the broken buildings, the damaged walls, and the frightened aliens. "Stay calm," he said in a clear voice. Even though the Olaran could not understand his words yet, his tone carried meaning. It was calm, steady, not threatening. Nina followed, carrying a small toolkit. Kyle brought larger equipment, and Laura and Evan stayed close to Liam. The humans moved as a team, each person ready for danger, but showing no fear. Vera approached slowly with a small group of guards. "Who are you?" she said in broken Galactic common. "Why do you come?" Liam raised his hand slightly. "We are humans from Earth. We received your distress call. We are here to help." The Olaran gasped, Some whispered to each other. Humans. Really humans? One said. Yes, Liam replied. No one else answered your call. We cannot ignore it. Vera looked at him carefully. She saw no weapons drawn. No aggressive moves. Still, she did not trust them completely. We are weak. You may be stronger than we are. Do you intend to fight us? Liam shook his head. No, we are here to help, but you need to work with us. We cannot fix everything alone. The Oloran soldiers exchanged uncertain glances. One of them, a tall alien named Jaro, whispered to Vera, Commander, they are known as Death Worlders. Humans survive on deadly worlds. They are dangerous, but maybe we need that danger now. Vera nodded slowly. She understood that sometimes strength was needed to survive. Very well, she said aloud. You may help, but do not harm us. Liam smiled slightly. We will not. The humans spread out quickly. Kyle began lifting broken metal beams and large debris, moving them easily as if they were paper. Nina checked damaged machines, repairing connections and circuits that the Oloran thought were lost forever. Evan walked among the injured, giving them water and checking wounds. Laura hovered near the sky, scanning for storms or any threat. The Oloran watched in awe. They had never seen beings who could survive so much and work so fast. Where they had given up, humans acted as if the world's danger was ordinary. Children crept closer to watch Liam fix a broken bridge. He worked quickly, hands steady. A young Oloran girl whispered to her mother, They are like heroes. Vera frowned but could not stop herself from feeling hope. She had lived her whole life fearing humans. But now, these humans seemed different. Strong, yes, but here to save, not to conquer. Hours passed. The humans worked through the heat, dust, and rubble. By late afternoon, the Oloran began to see small signs of recovery. Water channels were cleared, machines that had been dead for weeks hummed again, food storage containers were repaired. Suddenly, Laura's voice rang out from above. Commander, movement detected, ships approaching from deep space. All work stopped. The Oloran froze in fear. Liam looked at the scanner. Enemy ships, he said. They are raiders. They've ignored your distress call, and now think you are easy prey. Vera's eyes widened. We have nothing to fight them. Liam glanced at his team. We do not have much, but we can stop them. Work with us. Stay calm. The Oloran hesitated. They had never seen humans fight, but they could see the calm in Liam's eyes, the certainty in Kyle's stance, the readiness in Nina's hands, and the quiet focus of Evan. Perhaps they are our only hope, Vera whispered, as the sun sank below the horizon, casting long shadows across the ruined city. The humans prepared. They worked like a single organism, every movement precise. The Oloran watched with a mix of fear and hope. They had called for help, and now help had come. Not from a great empire, not from distant allies, but from humans, the Death Worlders of Earth. For the first time in weeks, there was a spark of hope in the hearts of the Oloran. The storm had not ended, and danger still approached. But perhaps, with these humans, they could survive. The night fell, and the winds of Kalora blew cold through the broken city. Liam stood at the edge of the main square, looking at the approaching enemy ships. He did not flinch. Beside him, Nina, Kyle, Laura, and Evan prepared for the coming night. The Oloran, trembling but watching, began to understand something new. Strength alone was not enough. Survival needed courage, skill, and the willingness to act when others would only wait. And in these humans, they saw all of that. The first part of the story ended with a quiet hope. The humans had arrived, and the Oloran waited to see what their presence would bring. No one on Kalora knew if they could win the battle ahead, but for the first time, the Oloran believed that, perhaps, just perhaps, they could. The night on Kalora was quiet, but not peaceful. The wind whispered through broken buildings, carrying the smell of dust and dry earth. The Olaran huddled in their shelters, whispering prayers and hoping the humans could protect them. In the center of the ruined city, Liam Carter and his team moved with purpose. They had worked quickly through the day to stabilize what they could. But now, the real challenge had begun. Laura Hill hovered above in the small shuttle, scanning the dark sky for signs of movement. Her eyes narrowed as she detected faint shapes far above the horizon. "Commander, they're closer than we thought. Raider ships, maybe 20 or more," she said through the communicator. Liam nodded. "I thought they would take longer to reach the city. We need to act fast." Kyle Barnes looked at the ruined streets. "We can't stop 20 ships with just this equipment." "Yes, we can," Liam said. "We will not fight them all at once. We will use the terrain. We will use traps, and we will fight smart, not just strong." Nina Brooks checked her toolkit again. "I can set up energy nets on the main streets. They'll slow down small ships or drones, but it won't stop the big ones." Evan Price prepared medical supplies. "If this goes wrong, I will need every bed and every container ready for the injured. But we can survive if we work together." Liam looked around at the small team. They were ready. He took a deep breath. "Let's move." The humans spread out quickly. Kyle started dragging heavy beams and metal scraps to form barriers. He lifted pieces that would have crushed an Olaran and placed them in narrow streets. "These will slow them down," he said. "They can't use their bigger ships in tight spaces." Nina ran from building to building, connecting wires and activating old machines that had not worked for months. Sparks flew from broken panels, but she did not stop. She laughed softly to herself. "They think this city is dead. We'll show them it's alive." Evan moved among the Olaran civilians, showing them how to stay safe, patch wounds, and keep each other calm. Some Olaran watched him curiously. They had never seen someone handle injuries so quickly and gently. Laura called from above. "I see them. Small raider drones are moving down the horizon. They're fast, but not very smart." Liam smiled. "Good. That means our traps will work." The first raider drones appeared over the horizon. They were sleek, black ships with sharp edges, designed to strike quickly. But as they moved into the city, they hit the barriers Kyle had built. Some drones crashed into metal piles, while others slowed down and became easy targets for the Olaran to escape. Vera, the Olaran leader, watched from a tower. Her silver skin reflected the light of the small fires in the streets. She had expected humans to arrive, but she had not expected them to act like this. She whispered to her soldiers, "They are not here to conquer us. They are here to save us." Some Olaran were still afraid. One soldier, Jaro, shook his head. "They are humans. Strong, yes. But they fight differently. Too fast. Too confident. We cannot understand them fully." Vera nodded. "We do not need to understand. We need to follow." The humans worked as a team. Kyle set traps for the drones, while Nina activated old energy shields around the city center. Laura attacked from the sky, using the shuttle to draw enemy fire away from civilians. Evan treated the injured quickly, never stopping, never panicking, and Liam moved between them, giving orders, helping when needed, and keeping the team calm. Hours passed. The raiders tried to push forward, but every street became a trap. Drones crashed, engines burned, and the small city resisted. The Olaran began to move with the humans, learning quickly. They helped with barriers, warned of approaching ships, and carried supplies to the humans. At one point, a large raider ship landed near a food storage building. Olaran's soldiers panicked. Liam ran forward without hesitation. Kyle and Nina followed, carrying heavy beams and tools. They worked together to trap the ship in a pile of debris. The raiders tried to escape, but the humans were faster, smarter, and stronger. Evan stayed behind to help the injured civilians. Some Olaran children had been hurt in the first attack. He carefully picked them up, wrapped them in clean cloths, and gave them water. Their eyes were wide with fear, but also wonder. These humans were saving them. risking themselves for aliens they had never met before. By midnight, the first wave of raiders had been pushed back. The city was damaged, but it still stood. The Olaran gathered in the streets, exhausted and scared, but alive. They looked at the humans with new respect. Vera approached Liam. "Your people. They fight like nothing we have ever seen. You do not fear death." Liam shook his head. "We do not. But we do fear letting people die if we can stop it. That is why we fight." Vera studied him. "I do not know if our people can ever fully trust humans. You are strange, strong, dangerous. But you saved us. Perhaps that is enough." Liam nodded. "Trust is earned. We will stay until you are safe. And then Earth will send more. You are not alone. Aid." The Olaran began to see a new reality. Humans were not like the empires that ignored their call. Humans were not cruel or distant. Humans came from a world where survival was harsh, and they had learned to act when no one else would. That same strength that made them dangerous also made them capable of saving lives. Night deepened. Laura returned from the sky. "More ships are on the way," she said. "They will attack in the morning." Liam looked at the city. Broken walls, damaged streets, frightened aliens everywhere. "Then we prepare," he said. "We fight until they cannot move. And then we fight some more if needed. We do not wait for miracles. We make our own." Kyle nodded, dragging a heavy metal beam into place. "I like that. Humans never wait. We act." Nina checked the energy shields again. "We can hold them off longer than they expect. They don't know we survive worlds like this." Evan gave water to an Olaran mother and her child. "We will get through this," he said softly. The humans worked through the night, moving quietly, carefully, and with purpose. The Olaran watched, learning. By the time the first light of dawn touched the cracked ground, the city was ready. Streets were lined with traps. Energy shields were active. Civilians were hidden in safe zones. The raiders approached again. This time, they would meet the humans fully prepared. The Olaran still trembled, but they felt a spark of hope. They had called for help, and now help had come. Not from a distant empire, not from a powerful fleet, but from humans, the Death Worlders of Earth, known for surviving impossible worlds and impossible dangers. Vera looked at Liam. "I hope your people are enough," she whispered. Liam smiled slightly. "We will do everything we can. You will survive. That is enough for us." The first part of the night had been hard. The second would be harder. But the Olaran now understood something important. Humans were not just strong. Humans were brave, clever, and willing to act when others only waited. That was why they had come. As the sun rose over the broken city, casting long shadows on the cracked streets, the Olaran gathered quietly behind the humans. They did not fully trust them yet, but they had hope. For the first time in weeks, they felt that survival was possible, and that hope was enough to face the coming storm. The sun barely rose above the horizon, and a dull orange light spread over the city of Kalora. The broken streets and damaged buildings looked even more desolate in the early morning light. The Olaran moved quietly among the ruins, watching the humans prepare for the next attack. For them, the humans were still strange and frightening. But now, they were also a source of hope. Commander Liam Carter walked through the streets, checking the barriers and the energy shields. Kyle Barnes was already at work, dragging heavy metal beams to strengthen the main streets. "These will slow them down even more," Kyle said, wiping sweat from his forehead. His muscles were strong, his movements precise. He moved like he had done this 1,000 times before. "Yes," Liam replied. "Every obstacle counts. We have fewer weapons than they do, but we have something they do not expect: knowledge of the terrain and a plan." Nina Brooks worked on the energy nets again, her hands flying over wires and panels. Sparks flew, but she did not stop. "If these nets work, their smaller ships will crash. That gives us time to strike. Evan Price moved among the Olaran civilians, calming them and checking for injuries. Remember, he said softly, stay behind the barriers. Do not fight unless we tell you. We will protect you. Some Olaran children followed him cautiously, their eyes wide. He knelt down and smiled. You will be safe if you listen. Laura Hill hovered in the shuttle above, watching the horizon. Commander, I see them. They are coming fast. More than yesterday. Maybe 50 ships this time. Including larger ones. Liam nodded. Good. That means our traps will work even better. Get ready to guide them into the streets. Keep them from attacking the civilians. The Olaran watched as humans moved with calm determination. Some whispered among themselves. They are fearless, said one soldier, Jaro. They do not run from danger. They face it. Vera, the Olaran leader, nodded. They are not like anyone we know. Strange. Yes. Strong, yes. But they are here to help. Not to conquer. The first wave of raiders arrived. Small ships flew low, moving quickly through the cracked streets. Their engines screamed and their weapons glowed red. But Kyle's barriers were ready. Drones crashed into the metal piles and toppled into rubble. Nina's energy nets activated, catching several more ships. Sparks and smoke filled the streets, but the humans did not flinch. Liam moved forward with Kyle and Nina, guiding the traps and helping where needed. Keep moving, he shouted. Do not let them get inside the city center. Evan rushed to help a small group of injured Olaran, carrying them to a safer street. He worked quickly, bandaging wounds and giving water. Stay calm, he said. You are safe with us. Laura dove her shuttle between the raider ships, drawing their fire away from civilians. Her movements were precise. She forced the raiders to split their focus, giving the humans on the ground a better chance to hold the streets. The raiders adapted quickly. Larger ships hovered above, trying to destroy the barriers with laser fire. Liam looked at Kyle. We need something stronger. Can you make it work? Kyle nodded. Give me 10 minutes. He worked quickly, lifting heavier beams and stacking them to block the streets. The Olaran soldiers helped, learning fast from the humans. They moved with the strength humans taught them, carrying materials they thought were too heavy. Nina adjusted the energy nets to cover more streets. This should slow them down a lot. We can use their confusion to our advantage. The raiders pushed forward again. Smoke and sparks filled the city. The Olaran cowered in shelters, watching as humans fought with calm precision. Liam moved from street to street, giving orders, helping lift beams, and guiding civilians. He was everywhere at once, fearless, quick, and steady. One large raider ship landed near a food storage building. Its weapons were ready to fire. Kyle and Nina ran forward with Liam, dragging a massive metal beam. They stacked it across the street, forcing the ship to stop. The raiders fired, but the humans dodged and moved faster than the ship could track them. Sparks flew as the beam held the ship in place. Evan ran to the injured nearby. Stay low. Stay calm, he shouted. He carried 2 small Olaran children to a safe area. Their eyes were wide, but they did not cry. They had begun to trust him. Vera watched from her tower. Her silver skin reflected the fire and sparks in the streets. They are not just strong, she whispered. They are smart. They fight in ways we cannot understand. Jaro nodded. Yes, they are dangerous, but perhaps that is why they are our only hope. The fight continued for hours. The raiders tried to push forward, but every street became a trap. Drones crashed into barriers. Large ships were slowed by energy nets, and humans moved among them like ghosts. Kyle lifted heavy debris to crush smaller ships. Nina rewired broken machinery to shoot electric pulses. Laura dove her shuttle between enemies, forcing them into tight spaces. Evan moved constantly, saving civilians, never stopping. And Liam guided them all, calm, confident, and fearless. By midday, the raiders were retreating. Smoke rose from the city. Buildings were damaged, but the city still stood. The Olorans slowly came out of hiding. They had watched humans fight without fear, without hesitation, and without doubt. Vera approached Liam. "Your people, they are incredible. They do not fear death, and they do not wait for others to act. They make a path where none exists." Liam nodded. "We do not wait for miracles. We make our own. You have called for help. We have answered. That is all we need to do." The Olaran began to move among the humans, helping with repairs and barricades. They carried materials, patched broken energy shields, and followed instructions. They were learning quickly. Humans had shown them that courage and action could overcome fear and danger. Hours passed. The city slowly became safer. Fires were put out, barriers were reinforced, and the energy nets were repaired. The raiders had gone, but more might come. The humans did not rest. They worked through the afternoon, helping the Olaran, preparing for the next attack, and making sure every civilian was safe. Evan treated a group of children who had minor injuries. "See? You are okay now," he said softly. The children looked at him with trust and admiration. They had never seen someone so gentle and strong at the same time. Kyle lifted a massive piece of metal into place. "These streets are ready," he said. "If they come back, they will have a hard time moving through them." Nina checked her machines again. "Everything is working. The city is alive again, thanks to teamwork." Laura flew above, scanning the horizon. "No signs of raiders for now, but we cannot be sure how long it will last." Vera looked around at the humans and the Olaran working together. "I do not know if we can ever fully trust humans," she said. "They are strong, strange, and dangerous. But they have saved us. Perhaps that is enough." Liam nodded. "Trust is earned. We will stay until your people are safe. That is our duty." The Olaran began to understand something new. Humans were not only strong. Humans were clever, brave, and willing to act when others would only wait. That combination made them different from any other race the Olaran had ever known. They had come from a harsh world and survived because they had learned to face danger, not run from it. As the sun set over the broken city, casting long shadows, the humans continued their work. Kyle reinforced barriers, Nina repaired machines, Evan helped civilians, and Laura kept watch from above. Liam moved between them, calm and confident. The Olaran watched, learning from every move. They saw that humans did not fear, they did not hesitate, and they did not wait. Humans acted, and that action saved lives. The first day of battle had been long and hard. The humans had held the city, saved the civilians, and forced the raiders to retreat. But the Olaran knew the fight was not over. More raiders could come, more danger could arrive. Yet, for the first time in weeks, they felt hope. The humans had shown them that survival was possible. Strength alone was not enough. Courage, cleverness, and action were what truly mattered, and in the humans, they saw all three.